Welcome back to Forward Progress. It's a Hammer Draft Series here on the Hammer Betting Network presented by Fanduel. And today we're going to be looking at the Defensive Player of the Year award. There's 4 of us on screen right now. There's going to be 6 players drafted to each team. And guess what? We're going to do it for a little bit of cash here. $250 each for an $1,000 prize pool. Now the Defensive Player of the Year, the pool is very large here. So there's only going to be 24 players picked. If any of those 24 players don't win, guess what? You, the audience, have a chance to win. Four people have a chance to win $250 each. All you have to do to be submitted in that contest is to like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment on the video, and then follow us over on Twitter. Let's get right into things here. We did the randomizer before the draft, and I got first. Austin, you got second. George got third. Rob, you got fourth. But listen, there's a trade to announce. Rob really wanted that first overall pick, so I was being a good employee. He forced me to swap with him as he leveraged his power over me as my boss. So against my will, Rob has the
Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
Not go there, George.
That's an HR violation. All right, Rob gets the first overall pick. Rob, who you got?
Okay, so I am approaching this draft very differently than the rest of them. This is a challenging market to predict, in my opinion. But I also want to take players that I don't have enough players so far or coaches that I can really root for, guys that I want to see succeed. I don't have enough Dallas Cowboys ownership. As you can see over my shoulder here, I have the Cowboys logo. I'm a Cowboys fan. So I'm just going to get this out of the way. I know there's a lot of uncertainty going into the season in terms of whether or not he will play, where he will be, or whatever. I'm taking the best defensive player in the league, and I'm going with Micah Parsons. I think ultimately he is such a disruptor on any given snap. You have tons of games in prime time where he's much more noticeable. Obviously, can make a case for a number of people here at number 1 overall. But I will just come out and say it. I'm going to be a Dallas Cowboys homer in the early going here. I mean, he is the odds-on favorite at FanDuel right now and several other books, so it's not a stretch. Give me Micah Parsons here at number 1.
All right, Micah Parsons there at number 1. But, Rob, you said you took the best defensive player in the league. You didn't, but it's okay. You got Micah Parsons still. Austin, you're up next. You going to take the best defensive player in the league?
I'm going to assume no because you're giving your input on that, and I feel like that's probably wrong. But not to put you on a spot. But anyway, I'm going to go with Aiden Hutchinson. I don't know if that – I might own myself here if you do believe Hutchinson's the best. But
I would assume the player he's thinking of went to USC. I don't know if that's the case, but no, it's not a USC defender.
No.
Okay,
no.
yeah, that's
trying to think of the best USC defender in the league right now. I don't even know.
Talanoa Hufanga, like that's the only one off the top of my head. But he's not very great.
Anyway, going with Aiden Hutchinson, mainly because I like to pick. I don't know if I don't love the pick teams that are bad. And I know that's where Myles Garrett was my next option. And I want some media hype around it. And Aiden Hutchinson was on a tear last year. I don't want to say there's a little bit of sympathy maybe going into it. If he has another good year this year, maybe because he was on track last year to be at least like a finalist for this award. So going with Hutchinson also helps that he's like the firm face of that pass rush and everything. So yeah, I like he's got some media narratives behind good play as well. So I'll go with Hutch.
All right, Aiden Hutchinson going to Austin. George, who you want third?
I think you guys made the right 2 picks. There's this with the Oscars when everybody's like, when's Leo DiCaprio going to finally win his award? And they picked his 23rd best movie of all time to give it to him for. You guys picked the right 2, probably the 2 guys that they want to award, make a new face of the league. That being said, there's things in life that give you that little spring in your step. You just start a new relationship. It's fresh. You got an extra bounce. The air smells a little fresh. The ground's a little bit softer. There's a new president in the United States of America. And this man, Nick Bosa, is going to be an absolute terror on the field. He wants to go to the Oval Office to meet Daddy Trump. Give me Nick Bosa, baby.
All right, I love that. I was
political angles included. I love that. Yeah,
I'm a little bothered because George, that's the guy who I wanted to take was Nick Bosa there. But,
you consider Nick Bosa the best defensive player in the league?
No, when we talked about this is off air. I asked George if he was going to take my guy. That's the guy who I wanted. But I'm happy to have who I believe is the best defensive player in the league dropping to me here in TJ Watt. I mean, listen, he doesn't get the pressure rate that people expect these good edge rushers to get, but he is the midwit meme where it's like you're in the middle if you think getting pressures is the most important thing. The guy can just force fumbles, cause havoc, and just create problems for other teams' offensive line and quarterback. TJ Watt, an absolute stud for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I believe he's the best defensive player in the league.
I guess the smartest minds in the history of football are in the middle, Jason, and you're at
Correct.
one of the extremes.
Well, I'm at the
that.
left end of the extreme for those who know that meme. But yeah, that's it. Like, hey, TJ Watt goes Burr. TJ Watt goes Burr. So the only problem here is did some research, shockingly. Gonna need a high win total for these for these defensive player of the year winners. Generally, they're on a higher win team. Don't feel as good about the Pittsburgh Steelers, but TJ Watt.
Mike Tomlin.
Mike Tomlin. There you go. Who knows? He could win Coach of the Year.
George is out on the voodoo this year. He already pronounced that in an earlier video. He's out on the voodoo.
I want no parts of Pittsburgh. I'm
all in on the
every week.
To be fair, I've been out on it for like 4 years now, and it just keeps happening.
Me too.
Love it. I'm in on the voodoo. I'm in on the ayahuasca. Give me TJ Watt. That's my first pick for me for the fourth pick of the first round here. And then up next, I'm gonna look towards the Los Angeles Rams, and I'm gonna take a guy who had a kind of really sneaky good season towards the end of last year. This Los Angeles Rams defense wasn't the greatest out of the gate, and then they kind of figured themselves out as the year went on, and a lot of that attribution went towards Jared Verse getting just more playing time, right? He's a really great edge rusher on a good team. They have 4 primetime games this year. They have 1 late in the season, which I think is pretty valuable if you're looking at this award. So yeah, give me Jared Verse for the Los Angeles Rams. Young guy, up and comer, could be getting his due from the voters this season.
I like that.
Right.
I wanted to shit on it, but I
like it too.
I kind of like it. So
All right.
yeah.
George, you're up next.
I think they're going to make him wait one more year. I don't think they want to hand that award out in year 2. This is a bit of a, seniority earn your stripes award too.
Yes.
So I'm going to go with a guy who's in his 3rd year, who I also think is a beast, but he's on a really good defense. He's got a lot of good corners too, which he's going to get an extra 2-3 sacks just from the secondary holding up. Give me some Will Anderson Jr. here.
All right, Will Anderson Jr. for the Houston Texans and also for the George Defensive Player of the Year team. Austin, you get your next pick.
Yeah, so go back to the best defensive player in the league conversation, and I'm going to take the guy who I think was the best is Myles Garrett. Don't love it that the Browns are going to probably stink this year, but if there's anybody who can just pop off for like a close to 20 sack season, I'd put my money on. He's one of the top 2 or 3 guys that are going to go that route. So he just got paid. Hopefully he feels he wants to prove it a little bit and separate himself from that Pittsburgh rivalry with Watt. So I'm going with Myles Garrett, and hopefully the Browns, hopefully Joe Flacco can give me some wins. Maybe Shedeur Sanders plays, gets extra hype around the Browns. I don't know. Now talking myself into it more, but I like Garrett here.
All right, I love it. Talking yourself into a pick as you make it. Good stuff here from Austin. Rob, you have back-to-back picks. Close out the second round. I'll recap the teams, and you'll be able to go for the 3rd round.
Yeah, so I spent the last 5 minutes trying to figure out who the best defensive player from USC is. I think it's Leonard Williams, by the way. I think that's got to be the pick right now. So if I pick someone that has been picked, I haven't been paying attention to any of you through this. I've just been nodding my head and saying good pick. But I am all right. I'm going to start with interior guys only really win when they look like unstoppable, like Aaron Donald, and that's a challenge here. But I still like guys that have a really high ceiling. He's coming off a down year, but I'm going to go with Jalen Carter purely because he's going to have 6 games against the Giants, Cowboys, and Commanders, and the Giants' interior stinks. The Cowboys might have to move their best offensive lineman to left tackle if Tyler Guyton can't start the year, and the Commanders, I mean, they have Biotish at center, but he's going to dominate those games. And I think that he can really, really have a big year this year. Again, don't love the position necessarily, but I think he's going to be a huge disruptor this season. So I'll go with Jalen Carter. I don't love the next pick either because I do echo what George said earlier, but I might as well.
Quickly, before you go into your next pick, I just want to recap the teams here, just so everyone can follow.
Yeah, I didn't
along.
listen to your instructions.
I know
if
you weren't
gave
listening
that.
to me.
But, yeah.
Exactly.
USC
No,
was
you weren't
big,
listening.
Yeah, I was very distracted. Yes.
I know you weren't listening to there. Don't worry. This is like a preview of all of our meetings. If anyone wants to wonder how those go behind closed doors. Anyways, Rob, you went first. You got Micah Parsons and Jalen Carter. Austin, you went second. You got Aiden Hutchinson and Myles Garrett. George, you went third. You got Nick Bosa and Will Anderson Jr. And then I went fourth and got TJ Watt and Jared Verse. Rob, I don't know if you're still listening to me now, but if you want to pick, now's your time to go. Maybe the silence will just kick in.
So, listen, there's obviously some very, very good football players left. I don't traditionally love to go with players in the secondary. I would prefer to target like really, really good edge players here. My biggest concern with the guy I'm going to draft is his team, as George alluded to earlier. I mean, sometimes you just got to get good players on good defenses. But Max Crosby is such a disruptor, and having him available here, he could lead the league in total sacks. He's just on the field so often. Down to down, right? They're not taking him off the field regularly. So he has so many opportunities to make splash plays. I'm going to go with Max Crosby in this spot.
All right, Max Crosby to start out the third round for Rob. Austin, you're up next.
Yeah, I got to go with Nick Bonito here. Just going, again, guys off the edge, good defense. There's been... I don't know if like the Broncos defense snuck up on us last year, but there's been a little bit more offseason talk about them this year as maybe being the best defensive team in the league. The division's tough. They play the Chiefs. They're going to have some, media around that. If he can have a big game here or there, get some the boost there. But yeah, I'll take the edge rusher on what's being perceived to be, the best or one of the best NFL or defenses in the NFL here with Bonito.
Yeah.
All right, Nick Bonito making his way over to Austin's team. I'm gonna have to scramble for my pick, and I'm gonna give myself a little bit of time here. I know it's George's pick, but I'm panicking right now. George, who you got next? Maybe buy me some time.
I will buy you some time and go on this long diatribe about
Love it.
not being a homer, even though I'm accused of it. And I was actually reading in Cleve TA's preview book, and we talked about it a little. Chop Robinson, our first round pass rusher last year, from week 9 on was like top 5 in every single metric as a pass rusher, except he had an abnormally low sack to pressure ratio. He wasn't converting enough into sacks.
Mm-hmm.
We got
TJ Watt.
We got Jalen Phillips back this year. We got Bradley Chubb back. We just signed Matthew Judon. Chop Robinson is going to get a lot more one-on-ones. He's very explosive. He blew up the combine last year. I like a guy like Chop Robinson coming out of nowhere with like an 18-19 sack season.
Yeah, George, I just
right.
want to let you know you're not on the team, by the way. Like you say we, like you're on the team. He's not part of you're not in the locker room on a weekly basis.
Rob, I know I'm 38, but I don't know. I think I could start at right guard right now for the Miami Dolphins. I think
honestly, I could probably start at right guard for them.
I'll slap this helmet on. I think I still got a couple reps in me.
You know what? I like pride myself on being able to name the offensive lines of every single team in the league. I'm not entirely sure who the right guard is for the Dolphins. I think
he's
it's
right here.
James Daniels, but I'm not sure. It could be here. Yeah.
All right. Enough banter out of you guys. I finally figured out who I'm going to take. I'm up next. I'm going to go with Pat Surtain. Same reason as Austin there. Denver has a chance to be the best defense in the league. Pat Surtain, I think, is widely regarded as the best corner in the league. Obviously, I'm a little bit scared about this pick. We know that cornerbacks aren't sticky year over year. There's a lot that goes in, a lot that factors into things here. But Pat Surtain is one of the few corners I feel like who will win this award. If he wins this award, it doesn't have to be because he put up some crazy interceptions numbers or got a fat-tailed into a couple touchdowns. It's just because he is truly one of the best corners in the league, and he puts people on islands, and teams are afraid to throw to him. So hopefully, if the Denver Broncos are the best team in the league, that credit goes more towards Pat Surtain than it does Nick Bonito.
Was this your handicap for last year when you won the award, or what?
Listen, I'm grasping at straws here. I'm not.
Yeah, clearly,
This is a big one, but yeah. All right. Up next, I got. I don't even know if there's ever been a back-to-back award winner. Definitely not. Maybe there has. Sure, there has. Defensive Player of the Year. I'm sure there has.
I don't know.
No?
You're the host. You
Who
tell
knows?
me.
I don't.
Did you miss?
You guys are the talent. You tell me.
Did you miss the Aaron Donald and JJ Watt era?
There we go. So Pat Surtain is live, is what you're telling me. All right. Up next is a guy I'm also super worried about because he's kind of fighting with his team right now, and that's Trey Hendrickson. But we know him. He's a good edge rusher. This Bengals defense is utterly atrocious. So if they can become like a middle of the pack team, it's probably going to be because of Trey Hendrickson. I mentioned earlier in the video, win totals and wins is important for this award, as backwards as that sounds. The Cincinnati Bengals, they are projected 9.5 wins. They could fat tail to a couple more. So a lot of wins, four primetime games this season, couple eyeballs on there. By far the best player on the defense and a quality edge rusher. Seems like a good combination for me. So I'll take Trey Hendrickson here.
Yeah, and Fanduel had a market on whether or not he would be traded. I think it was only like 3-1 or something like that. Like if that happens, you can upgrade like him in the defensive player of the year options, because if he ends up on a real defense with like a real other edge rusher aside from him or a defensive game planner that can scheme. Yeah.
The only team that's trading draft capital for him is probably a team ready, like a Lions.
Contending.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So could be good for me, could be bad for me. Who knows? Gonna take a stab though and just hope that if he gets traded, it benefits me and it hurts one of you guys. So until he gets traded to like, I don't know, like the Los Angeles Rams, and it's like, fuck. All right. Next, George, who you got?
I got somebody who's been like on the periphery of like top 10 pass rushers, consistent year over year, just has never been looked at in that light. And I don't know if it's because the team hasn't been competitive and maybe a little bit more, spotlight on him would work. But I want Josh Hines Allen for defensive player of the year.
All right. Josh Allen, not to be confused with the other Josh Allen, Josh Hines Allen for the Jaguars. George, you worried at all this team might not win more than 8 games?
Jacksonville Jaguars?
Yeah.
I think 8 wins is he could get there. I mean, 8-9 wins. I think that's more than doable.
All right, sounds good. Josh Hines Allen for
is that like a prerequisite? Is it you need 10 wins to win this award? Is that a thing?
Yeah, it's like coach of the year.
I
don't know.
I
don't know if that's true.
I think generally being on a good defense will help. Like a person who has really good numbers on a defense that sucks, I think it's challenging for them to win the award.
Yeah.
I don't know. Grasping at straws here. All right. Austin, you're up next.
We should have a grasping at straws counter up on screen for this video, by the way. Not sure how many times it's been said, but we're aware, Jason, that you're grasping at straws. It's been communicated.
I'll bring a straw next time. Austin, you're next.
I don't know if I love it, but I'm just going with the overall of their defense here of Nolan Smith. The Eagles have like a hole at edge rusher. Rob was talking about just Jalen Carter. Like teams are going to be looking at him first. Maybe Nolan Smith can clean up a little bit on the edge. Super athletic guy, but I'm more just betting on the Eagles defense, and like someone has to produce. I like Fangio and all of that. So not a lot of production there, but I'll go Nolan Smith here and ride the Eagles defense and Vic Fangio here.
All right, Nolan Smith for Austin. Rob, you're up next.
So I got back to back here, but I'm only giving one pick so that you can review. Okay.
Correct. There we go.
Okay. So I'm going to start with I'm going to go with Kyle Hamilton. Safeties almost never win, but Kyle Hamilton's role in that defense is built for like highlight reel, right? They send him on blitzes where he's after the quarterback. He has tips to interceptions, shuts down people in the slot. He basically shows up everywhere on that defense. And on a 1-seed caliber roster, I think it's an easy sell to sell the do everything chess piece as the defensive player of the year. So I will go with Kyle Hamilton and allow you to recap before I make my next pick.
All right. Thank you, Rob. I appreciate that. Let's recap the board here. Rob, you have Micah Parsons, Jalen Carter, Max Crosby, and Kyle Hamilton. Austin, you have Aiden Hutchinson, Myles Garrett, Nick Benito, and Nolan Smith. George, you're looking at Nick Bosa, Will Anderson Jr., Chop Robinson, Josh Hines Allen, and then I was able to snag up TJ Watt, Jared Verse, Pat Surtain, and then Trey Hendrickson. Rob, it's the 5th round. You're the first pick. What do you got for us?
Yeah, I'm going to stick with team interior defense and take Chris Jones. I mean, it's interior force on the league's most watched team in the league, I think that's a pretty good recipe for Defensive Player of the Year. He's been a player that I've always liked to cheer for. He can flip a narrative in real time. And when the Chiefs' defense is like the story of a game, he's almost always the headline for the team because he's just that big of a monster in the middle there. So give me Chris Jones.
All right, Chris Jones for Rob. And then Austin, you got...
Gonna also go interior here with Dexter Lawrence. I think this is tough for me because I actually think Abdul Carter can put up some crazy numbers for them, but I don't think a rookie will get the love that maybe they deserve. But Lawrence is going to be the guy that, like, Abdul Carter moving around. You got Brian Burns there as well. I think the Giants' defensive line is going to give fits to a lot of teams. He also, like, the narrative of him being like a nose tackle and pass rusher is kind of the rare. So there's a little bit of, like, I don't know if there's another interior like nose guard that's on the pass rushing ability of his. So gonna go there. Hopefully the Giants, maybe Jackson Dart gets some love here, but and they win a couple more games. But I do think the Giants defensive line is going to give a lot of teams fits this year. So I'll go with Lawrence as the household name on that group.
All right, Dexter Lawrence. Yeah, and that defensive line is very scary. Let's hope they can put it all together for my sake, because I love the Giants this year.
I bet Dexter Lawrence last year, and then he proceeded to get injured like immediately the next game after I bet Dexter.
Perfect.
Lawrence.
Just don't do it again.
He's pretty much dead to me at this point. Yeah.
All right. George, you're up next.
So basically, when I put together my list, I deleted everything that wasn't D lineman except for one player that I have, and I'll save that for my last pick. There's no way Jason's looking at him. I like same handicap as Josh Hines Allen. I think Greg Rousseau has been on that top 10 pass rusher periphery for a while, and I don't think it's that much to take a leap. And I think if Buffalo's a really good team and gets a lot of publicity, I want some Greg Rousseau from the University of Miami.
All right. Well situated in the cuck chair here, as George has cucked me twice.
Really? I thought audience would be clapping after that pick. That's what I thought. Thought the audience would love that pick. No, the fact that you guys both agree on it, I think the audience is going to love it even more now.
I see. I got you. They're happy.
I want to hear from Austin. Austin, they told me you're some college savant. Tell me Greg Rousseau. Big up that pick for me. Give me a little love.
My issue with the Bills is just like it's a one-man team. There's so much narrative built with this. Like it's tough. Name a good Bill. The Bills have been good for a couple years now. Like, name the guy who was ever in the Defensive Player of the Year market. It's never been there.
Yeah, it's a fair angle, and I feel like I'm probably gonna do the same thing here and just donate with my next pick.
I think Takeo Spikes once upon a time with his wide neck.
Spikes.
How deep are we going with this?
Remember when they had Takeo Spikes and Paul Posluszny? Paul Posluszny's neck was like larger than my torso. His enormous. I believe he's a Penn State guy, if I remember.
Yes.
Austin. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. All right. These that name. Who was his?
You don't even know who he is.
You don't know who Paul Posluszny is? Come on,
I don't.
Man.
I don't. I have no idea.
The Polish Express.
All right.
He was never called
him.
that.
I was going to say that's news to me.
I don't even know that he's Polish, but he had some S's and Z's in his name, so I just figured.
All right. Well, I don't know who I'm going to take here, but I feel like I have to go edge rusher at this point. I feel like anywhere else I go is probably cooked, and I'm definitely not taking George's guy. I'm just going to go with, I don't know, Danielle Hunter. Same reason, I guess, same case you can make for Will Anderson. Just hope that he gets more of the counting stats, more of the credit for the Texans there, and hope he can, be the guy. I don't know what other case.
These are some excellent breakdowns, Jason. I got to applaud you on the breakdowns today. I hope he can be the guy. All right. I mean, we all hope our guy can be the guy.
All right. Well, what do you want me to say? That he's like top 12 in true
That's why
pressure rate?
I mean, you're pretending that all my picks were you were about to take them. Is that your cover here?
No.
Dang! You took my guy again. Just trying to butter
George's.
No, not him.
All right. Whatever. Anyways, the last one. I lied. I am going to go one more cornerback, and I'm going to go Christian Gonzalez because I think there's a guy in Mike Vrabel who is a great coach, a great leader, and I think he's going to look at a guy like Christian Gonzalez, who was taken with a high draft pedigree, and he's been great in his career so far. as a coverage corner. Take him under his wing, help him improve a little bit, and hope that this New England Patriots team does well and this defense improves significantly upon last year, which we've seen Mike Vrabel do with plenty of defenses that he's coached in the past. So yeah, I hope that Christian Gonzalez is the guy who takes the credit for that, because like really no other stars on that defense.
Yeah, like that time he took that Titans corner under his arm that we all remember. He's good.
All right, George. All right, it's all right. This is the one that one that Rob's paying for, so it's all good. George up next.
All right. Little known fact. Do you remember during COVID when we're all finding things to do and we weren't quite sure and we were deciding if we're gonna bet on table tennis or Bulgarian soccer?
I wasn't deciding. I was just firing, just to make it clear.
I was betting what the stock market would close on. That was the market. But I was watching this show called The Queen's Gambit on Netflix, and I thought it was really good. And I picked up chess, and I came short of a grandmaster. You know, I became very good in those 3 months that I was playing chess. The ultimate chess piece in defense. Like Rob said it with Kyle Hamilton, but I actually think there's a guy who's a little bit better at it, at a position that can win the award at linebacker, a guy that is like tremendous pass rusher against the run. He can cover well. I like Edgerrin Cooper a lot. He's not a household name yet, but he is a superstar in the making. I think Green Bay has a legit superstar in Edgerrin Cooper.
Yep. I think he'll be a really good candidate for this award in 3 years, honestly.
Once everybody figures out who he even is.
Ask if you go around and poll an average fan and ask him which team Edgerrin Cooper is on, less than 50% can name which team he's on.
I want the audience to spam the comments. Did you know who Edgerrin Cooper was?
Yeah.
Wire
Be honest. Be honest. Like those who follow the league know, but and like don't want to dismiss anyone's, but that's going to be really working against him this year, George, in this type of market.
I was on board with the reason for the pick until it's not a household name, and I was like, all right, well, it's done. If it's the first year that they're good, that not getting the respect for the rookie.
Well, he was great as a rookie, but I think that's what's holding him back. But listen, he's 200-1 on Fanduel.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I could probably add a couple zeros to that, and I might not hit it.
All right.
I thought you were going to go like Zach Bond or something.
Yeah.
At least like people.
When you said linebacker,
Yeah.
Fred Warner, like I don't know.
This guy makes Zach Bond look like a bench warmer. He's that good.
George's flag planning.
That's it.
Not again.
Not again.
All right. Austin, you're up next.
I'm gonna go with Jonathan Greenard from the Vikings. Van Ginkel finished higher than him in the voting last year, mainly because of interceptions. If we assume the interceptions aren't going to be there, I think Greenard could be the guy who kind of takes the reins as the face of that defense. Everybody loves to talk about Brian Flores in the defense, and they're going to have a rookie quarterback that maybe the defense needs to win them a couple games. So I'll get my media narrative in there, as that's always a big thing in these markets. And he's a little bit of a household name. Most people might have heard of him instead of Edgerrin Cooper. So
I'm willing to bet more people have heard of him than Edgerrin Cooper. I'll just throw that out there, considering just he's been
would
playing
also be
for
willing to make that
significantly
wager,
longer.
Nobody follows Texas A&M. Like I'm the only guy here.
No, I'm just saying,
that's
we've heard of him, but
yeah.
he's not going to be making headlines. That's the issue.
I'm just saying, like in my opinion, if we were drafting like 12 rounds, you probably could have got him in the 12th round, George.
All I'm saying is every highlight I see on Twitter this year, I'm tagging all three of you guys.
Yeah. Hey, George, you're a part of the media now. You can spread the word. That's what you got to do. That's the way to win these awards. Is like Joey Knish tried to do with that tight end last year. I forget who it was. Was it
George
Tyler
is
Warren?
going to invest tens of thousands into an Edgerrin Cooper campaign, media campaign.
Harold finished. He finished second, so it wasn't like Knish was. He was a good player.
Yeah. If Edgerrin Cooper finishes second in the voting awards, then I don't know what I'm gonna do. Definitely not eat a shoe. But
Zach Bond finished fifth last year, and he was like widely seen as the best linebacker in the league.
Go, Austin. I like hearing that.
Yeah, I don't think that's happening with Edgerrin Cooper.
All right, Rob, let's get out of here.
Is this the last pick of the draft?
Yeah.
I was actually gonna pick Zach Bond, but I'm gonna leave Zach Bond to the audience here.
So kind of you.
There's one team that I don't have a piece of that I want a piece of, and that's the Texans, because I'm a big believer in D'Amico Ryans in terms of running a defense. Matt Burke, third year there, has done a great job with that defense. I'm going to go with the guy that's going to benefit the most from having Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter on the outside, and I think that's Derek Stingley. I think teams are going to have to throw quickly, get the ball out there. He's a ball hawk. He has really good ball skills. Plus, he's got a lot of swagger. Plus, he's already a household name. This is how a corner becomes the story in the NFL, in my opinion, where you have a really good pass rush and you just got to make plays on the ball. So I'm going to go with Derek Stingley here because I want some exposure to that defense.
Yeah, Rob loves getting any exposure to a guy who has good ball control. Derek Stingley for the for Rob's team there. Let's close out the draft. Rob, you have Micah Parsons, Jalen Carter, Max Crosby, Kyle Hamilton, Chris Jones, and Derek Stingley. Austin, you have Aiden Hutchinson, Myles Garrett, Nick Benito, Nolan Smith, Dexter Lawrence, Jonathan Grenard. George, you got Nick Bosa, Will Anderson, Chop Robinson, Josh Hines Allen, Greg Rousseau, and who was that last pick? I forgot his name. Sorry. Edgerrin Cooper. And then I got TJ Watt, Jared Verse, Pat Surtain, Trey Hendrickson, Daniil Hunter, and Christian Gonzalez. And listen, 24 names on the screen right now. If one of those guys don't win, and there's a chance that one of those guys
there's lots of good players left.
There's a lot of good players.
Quinion Mitchell's left.
Sauce Gardner,
Leonard Williams,
Devin Witherspoon.
Yeah, Abdul Carter.
Let's be real. This draft was over when I picked Bosa third overall, and the rest of it is just us flexing the guys we know. That's all this draft was.
When Kirby Joseph wins Defensive Player of the Year, find me in a ditch, please.
All right, and a reminder: if any of those guys on the screen don't win, you guys have a chance. 4 of you have a chance to win $250. All you have to do is like the video, comment on the video, subscribe to the channel, and follow us on Twitter. If you don't know what to comment on the video, let us know who you think had the best team. You can even say the field has the best team or the commenters have the best team. Let us know in the comment section down below. But that wraps it up for us here today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see you in the next one.